Thank you so much for joining me for this full-length Pilates mat class focusing on planking. Today I'm going to be using my Pilates ring. I have the regular size Pilates ring, not the mini ring. We are going to be doing some stretching with it, and it might be a little harder to reach your toes with the mini ring and keep your shoulder blades flat on the mat. So to go ahead and begin though, we're going to take our ring in our hands, hold it in front of us, tuck our tail, roll back to the mat. We're going to squeeze our legs together all the way. We're going to find that nice, comfortable, neutral spine position, flat sacrum, 12th rib, magnetized or anchored into the mat. Slight lift between the 12th rib and the sacrum. Inhale, exhale. Let's focus on our shoulder blades real fast. One of the most important parts of planking is oftentimes overlooked because we can't seem to really widen and flatten our shoulder blades. If you bring your arms out to a T, imagine someone pulling your fingertips apart. That widening feeling that you feel between your shoulder blades is what you want to feel in the plank. Now, if you pop your ribs to do that, draw your ribs together as if you're wearing a corset. Sink your belly button to the spine and anchor that 12th rib on the back down. Now, squeeze your legs together, wrap your glutes slightly. Squeeze your inner thighs. Find your rings on the outside of the handle. We're going to place our thumb inside the ring first. We're not going to be gripping on the outside, just the outside. So, if we reach up and our shoulder blades pop off, drop your shoulder blades down to the mat by bending your elbows slightly. When I bend the ring down to the mat, the center of the ring should be centered over where my sternum and my 12th rib meet. So when I lift it up, I'm still engaged under my arms, which will help with the plank. We don't plank up here, we plank right here, right? Let's begin by engaging underneath our arms. So we're going to inhale. As we exhale, we're going to pull with our thumbs to stretch the ring into an oval, but leave our scapula or shoulder blades completely flat. Release and exhale to pull. Pull down under the arms as you continue the movement with the exhale. Good, let's do two more. Final one. Don't lose the wrap of that glute or your neutral spine. And now place your palms on the outside, not on the fingertips, but on the meaty part of your palm. Now without losing your shoulder blades and using your pecs or shoulders to squeeze the ring, we're going to inhale, exhale, and squeeze. Think of squeezing down your sides of your ribs and release. And exhale to squeeze down. Wrap the ribs even tighter as you exhale and squeeze. Nice long neck, two more. Now, we're going to combine these movements with a lift up. A lift up is similar to a curl up, but we're just going to be creasing over the sternum, lifting everything up at once into a flatter back curl up position. We're not going to stare straight up at the ceiling, so that's not kind of our neck though. We are going to look forward slightly. So we're going to begin with our thumbs pulling the ring apart to begin. So thumbs inside the ring, flatten your shoulder blades. Inhale, exhale, anchor the 12th rib, crease up over your 12th rib and lift as you pull. And release. And exhale to pull, creasing. Dropping the belly button to the spine. And lower. And crease to the sternum and pull apart as you lift. And lower. And draw those ribs together. Flatten the shoulder blades nice and wide. Think of pulling the shoulder blades apart as you lift and lower. Now place the meaty parts of your palm on the outside. We're going to do 6 more lift ups, squeezing in and think of squeezing down again, right? Squeeze down, using the muscles underneath your arms and down the sides of your ribs to complete the squeeze. Lift up and squeeze. And place back down. And lift it up, creasing over the sternum. When I lift up, I'm looking at where my wall and my ceiling meet. So I'm not looking straight up at the ceiling. I'm creasing forward slightly at the sternum and letting my gaze follow. Squeeze your legs together, wrap your glutes, and lower. Now we're going to combine the two on this nice little warm-up. So We're going to keep our thumbs inside and our palms on the outside. Try not to squeeze your fingers. Leave your fingers pointing straight. So we're going to inhale, pulling the ring apart, flattening your shoulder blades wide. Exhale, squeeze the ring. Leave your shoulder blades flat and wide as you lower. And inhale, lift and pull apart. Exhale, squeeze and lower. Don't allow your pecs to squeeze in and your shoulders to round forward. Lift, lower. Pull apart on the inhale and squeeze and lower on the exhale. Let's do one more. Really wrapping those ribs, dropping the belly button to the spine. Good. We're going to inhale, exhale. Lift our right leg up to tabletop, lift our left leg up. We're going to reach our ring over our legs, nice and flat and wide. We're not giving it a squeeze. We're just using it to assist with our curl up now. So I have my legs in tabletop, that's not a true tabletop. Here's a true tabletop. I can definitely feel my lower abdominals, definitely harder to find my neutral spine. Inhale, exhale to curl up, bringing my ring over my knees. Bringing my ring over my knees gives me more incentive to curl up a little deeper. Now I'm going to extend my right leg and pull it back, still squeezing my legs together, and left leg and pull. I'm still squeezing under my arms even though I'm not squeezing the ring, wrapping my ribs. Inhale. Guys, don't crunch your chin to your chest or look straight up at the ceiling. If you want to look towards your knees, act as if you have an egg under your chin. If you lift your gaze up to the ceiling, your egg will drop and roll away and break. If you crunch your chin to your chest, your egg will crunch and you'll get yolk all down your shirt. One more. Good. Now staying up in the curl up, I'm going to hold on to my ring over my knee. So I have it slightly between my palms. It's lifted up slightly closer towards me so I can obtain this. I'm going to do the double leg stretch. I'm going to pull my ring apart as I extend my legs and my arms overhead. I'm going to squeeze my ring and separate my legs the width of the mat. I'm going to squeeze my legs back together, pull the ring apart, come back to the beginning position. Still squeezing, I'm going to extend and squeeze as I separate. Pull apart as I pull it back in. So pull my ring apart, squeeze my ring. Pull my ring apart and back. So extend, separate. Come back and pull it in. And extend and squeeze. Keeping nice flat shoulder blades the whole time. Keeping a nice wide collarbone. Let's do two more. And squeeze your ring. Come, squeeze your legs back together and draw it back in. One more. And back. Now rest your head, neck, and shoulders. Rest your feet on the mat. Separate your feet slightly and gently windshield wiper them from side to side. Good job, guys. So a nice stretch part we're talking about. Draw both feet into my chest. Place both feet in the ring. I flip my palms so they're facing me. I don't want the tops of my palms facing me. I want to get my shoulders. If I have my palms facing me, I can really squeeze them under my arms. Now, I'm going to flex my feet and extend them straight up to the ceiling. If I tuck too much, I'm losing the hamstring stretch. So I should really feel this down the backs of my legs. If you don't, try walking the ring up your toes further and really pulling it down as your legs go straight up to the ceiling. Now, take your right leg, just drop your foot down towards your glutes. Give that ring a nice tug as you're only stretching your left leg. We're still in neutral spine here. We're still pulling our shoulder blades down on the mat and anchoring that 12th rib. Float that right foot back up. Now, take the left leg, just bend it so it's floating down your glutes and you're just stretching the right leg. Squeeze under the arms, come up out of your neck, guys. Good. Bring your feet out. Take them out of the ring, but leave them to the ceiling. Squeezing gently on the ring. Flatten your shoulder blades. Inhale, exhale to curl up. Bring in the ring to your knees. Extend your left leg away and tap your leg to the ring and switch. Tap your left leg and scissor right leg, left leg. If you find this is too easy, bring your ring up over your head a little bit and use your abdominals to move your leg. Your hip should not shift. you should maintain a completely neutral spine. I'm using my abdominals to tap, tap, and then switch. And tap, tap. Contracting my abdominals to move my leg. I'm shooting energy up out of my toes so my legs are completely straight. Tap, tap. One more. And one more. Tap, tap. Draw your knees into tabletop. Rest your head, neck, and shoulders. Place the ring right above your ankles on your shins. Bring your knees to tabletop. Fingertips up to the ceiling. Nice neutral spine. Inhale, exhale to curl up. Now, extend your legs to your working level for your hundreds. We have a slight squeeze on the ring. We're going to inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't tuck your tail. Make sure you have a nice heavy sacrum. Nice wide shoulder blades here. Guys, we really want to start practicing that now as we move. Draw in on your lower abdominals. Squeeze your glutes and your inner thighs. Inhale and exhale. Really wrap the ribs. Squeeze under the arms. They shoot energy out of your toes. Again, don't crunch the egg in your chest and don't let it roll away. 2 more. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stop there. Now squeeze on the ring for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pulse up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest your head, neck, and shoulders. Draw your knees in. Remove the ring. Hold on to the ring over your knees. Actually, let's go and place our feet down. I'm sorry. Place your feet long. Inhale, exhale to curl up. Changed my mind there. Sorry about that. We are going to go into, spine stretch and saw, and then we're going to do open leg rocker and neck pull. So I'm going to separate my feet, hip distance a little wider, most likely not as wide as the mat. I'm going to use my ring for the first 4 on spine stretch and saw. So when I release it, I will always keep it nearby. I'm going to take the pad of my ring and place it where my 12th rib and my sternum meet. So I'm going to take it right here and put it right here. I'm going to rest my fingertips gently on the top. I'm in that position where my legs are separated, hip width are a little wider. My feet are flexed, I'm sitting straight up. If you have tight hamstrings, please find a wedge or a towel to place under your sits bones so you can sit up nice and tall. So when I pull in my ring, I'm not pulling up here, I'm squeezing down like we were talking about earlier, really engaging my lats underneath my arms. I'm going to inhale, nodding my nose to the ring, and I'm going to roll my ring down my body with articulation. When the ring's gone as far as it can, that is the first part of spine stretch. I'm going to articulate back up, and my nose is going to be the last thing to come off. We're using the ring right here as tactile feedback to help us really perfect the first part of spine stretch. So, inhale, gaze down, placing my nose on the ring, and then I'm going to roll the ring down my body with articulation, drawing my belly button and my spine. From there, I'm going to unpeel the ring from my body, and then my nose will come up last. Wrap my ribs, draw my belly button to my spine, squeeze underneath my arms, come back up to sitting tall. One more. Good. This little movement is one that is oftentimes glossed right over in spine stretch. So let's go ahead and bring our arms back to the position that they were in with the ring, but we're removing the ring here. So we're going to inhale, gazing down like we just did for spine stretch. From there, I'm going to fold over my legs, bring my biceps up by my ears. I'm going to inhale to pull back to the first part of that movement, and exhale to come back up to sitting, one vertebra at a time. Nod your nose to your imaginary ring. Articulate the ring down the body. Fold over the legs, bring your biceps up by your ears. Pull back to the original movement with the ring. And articulate back up to sitting tall, tall, tall. Inhale, nod your nose to your imaginary ring. Articulate down the body. Exhale, extending over your legs. Inhale to pull back. And exhale to come up to sitting tall. One more. Don't forget the nose first. Articulate down the spine, rolling down with the support of the front of your body. Exhale, your arms over your legs. Inhale to pull back, round your belly to the spine. Come back up to sitting tall. Relocate your ring. Place it back in the original spot with your fingers like they were before. Now pull down on your arms to create an oval in the ring. Inhale, rotate to the right. Exhale. Exhale to the left and inhale through center. That's it. Exhale to the right. Don't let your sits bones on the back lift. This is your rotation for saw. You always think you're rotating further because your arms are extended to a T. Simply not the case. Good. One more. Ringing at your abdominals, growing taller. Place the ring to the side. Now, maintaining the squeeze under your arms, even though your arms are in a T. Bring them to a T, bring them to your periphery, squeeze down. Rotate to the right. Now flip your back palm up to the ceiling, dive down and saw off your baby toe. Pulse it here. Articulate back up, just like you did in the saw. Come through center, or in spine stretch, I'm sorry. Come to the left. Flip your back palm up to the ceiling, dive down and pulse. Pulse. Now articulate back, up. Head's the last thing. Through center, to the right. And dive, pulse. Pulse. Don't forget that articulation through center. Other side, and dive down, pulse. Pulse. I see so many people flat backing through this position. It's not this. It's a dive. Let's maintain our abdominals here. So we can draw in on our lower abdominals and really articulate. Really draw our ribs to our hips as we pulse, pulse. Back through center and come to sitting tall. Place your hands down. Bring your feet together in the center, knees apart in a slight frog. Lift up your glutes, bring your sits bones to your heels. Tuck your tail. Hold on underneath your ankle or above your knee. You shouldn't be gripping around to the back unless you're having to hold on behind your knees. You should be using your abdominals and your arms to hold on to the fronts of your legs. I'm hovering here with my feet, where my toes are touching in the center, but my feet are hovering off the mat. And now I'm going to extend my right leg up. Now that it's here, I'm going to squeeze down underneath my arm, really engaging those lat muscles here too, to hold my leg in the position that I want. Bring it back down. I'm going to extend my left leg. I'm going to squeeze under the arm again, really engaging under there, extending my leg up and lower. And now right leg left. Squeeze under the arm the whole time and lower. And left leg lift and lower. If you're using behind the knee, still squeeze in under your arms as you lift and lower and lift and lower. And now both legs together. You can still do this behind the knees. For those of you with osteoporosis, osteopenia, low back trouble, neck problems, please continue this exercise for open leg rocker. Otherwise, those of us who don't have those problems, we're going to maintain our neutral spine and pause at the top of each rocking. We're going to inhale back to the tips of our shoulder blades and exhale back up to this position. So inhale, rock back, exhale, and pause. Pulling down on our legs with our arms. We're doing 8 here, guys. Inhale and exhale. Nice control, extending energy out of our legs. I'm trying to keep my legs the width of my shoulder blades. I'm trying not to lose my rib to hip connection. I'm trying to maintain A nice round curve spine the whole time, so don't flat tire. As I inhale back, I'm going to exhale. Strongly my contraction to left. Pulling down under my arms. Last one. Uh-oh, I'm going to do one more because I messed up on. Good. We're going to pinpoint our toes in the center before we place them down gently. I'm going to press away from my feet. Separate them so they're right underneath my sits bones. We're going to do neck pull. I'm going to take my fingers, and my middle fingers are going to touch in the center. And I'm going to place them between my eyebrows or in the third eye position roughly. I'm going to flex my feet, sit up tall. Wrap my ribs. I'm going to hinge back in a flat back position. When I've gone as far as I can, I'm going to tuck my tail, and then I'm going to articulate down to the mat. Keeping my shoulder blades flat, why not? Bringing my arms to the center to left. I'm going to inhale and begin to articulate up, up, up in a C-shaped curve. Fold over my legs. From there, I'm going to lift my body to hinge forward in a flat back position. Continue to flat back lift through center. And I'm going to hinge back before I tuck my tail and articulate down. Curl up and exhale. Forward hinge. Sit up tall, 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 wrapping my ribs, squeezing my glutes, squeezing down underneath my arms to keep my shoulder blades flat and wide. Really reaching my ribs towards my hips. Sit up tall and inhale back and tuck my tail to roll down. Keep breathing, guys. And hinge up. Inhale. Exhale to articulate down. Inhale to articulate forward. And exhale to hinge forward on the left. I'm wrapping my ribs. I do have a flat back hinge here. Inhale back. Exhale to tuck my tail and roll back. I have energy shooting out of my heels. I'm drawing it out, hollowing out from hip to hip. I'm inhaling back and exhaling to tuck. I'm doing this with control. I'm not flopping down. Inhale. I'm not collapsing at the bottom of this movement either. I'm maintaining my contractions so I don't have to regroup to continue the movement. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Good. Final one, guys. And inhale. Reach along with your legs so your hip flexors don't get hit. I come all the way up to sitting. Good job, guys. Go ahead and shake out your legs. Whew. I'm going to scoot my heels back towards scoot my glutes towards my heels. I'm sorry. Hold on gently with fingertips behind my knees. Inhale, exhale, tuck my tail, roll back. Walk my heels in. Bring my legs as close together as I can for shoulder bridge. They shouldn't be, my heels shouldn't be any wider than sits bones distance apart on the bottom. I'm going to inhale, flatten my shoulder blades nice and wide, and exhale. I haven't moved yet. I'm going to take my ring if it's nearby. I'm going to bring my hands right up to the ceiling so that my wrists are underneath my shoulders. Now, with my thumbs hooked in, I'm going to pull my shoulder blades apart so my thumbs are nice, so that my shoulder blades are nice and flat on the mat. This is the plank position on your back. So we're going to hold it here, squeezing down underneath our arms. Exhale one more time, tuck your tail, and articulate up to a bridge. Keeping your shoulder blades nice and flat and wide. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your inner thighs, wrap your ribs, and articulate back down. And articulate up. Good, squeeze your legs together so your knees aren't flaring out to the side. Check on your hips, make sure they're even. Tuck your tail and roll down. Now go ahead and remove your ring to the side. Platform arms down. We're going to do a little bit of single leg work here. Inhale, exhale, tuck your tail and lift. Bring your right leg to tabletop, extend it to the ceiling, flex to lower till you're thigh to thigh so you don't drop your hip.
point to lift, and lower, and lift. Do one more, and lift. And now extend out, thigh to thigh. Bring your leg into tabletop, and point it up. Now flex to lower, point to tabletop, and lift. Flex to lower, point to tabletop, and lift. Now tabletop, flex, press with the heel, out, and lift. Oh, sorry. Point, and then flex, flex to lift. Sorry about that. Point, and then flex, and then lift. Now draw it into tabletop, rest it down, articulate down. We have one more shoulder bridge. We're going to go ahead and do it to the other side. Inhale, exhale, articulate up. Bring your left leg to tabletop, extend it to the ceiling, flex to lower, thigh to thigh, point to lift. And flex to lower, point to lift. One more. Squeeze your glutes to lift. Now flex to lower, point your foot into tabletop, point to lift. Flex, point to tabletop, and lift, and flex, and tabletop, and lift. Now leave it pointed to tabletop. Flex it out, flex to lift. Point, and flex, and lift. Point, there we go, Emily, and lift. Now tabletop, rest it down. Articulate your spine down, down, down. Extend your legs up to the ceiling. Now, leaving your shoulder blades nice and flat and wide, we're going to do a double leg lower left. Shoot energy up out of your toes. Now drop down 1, 2, 3. Excellent lift. Completely neutral spine, no rocking. Drop 1, 2, 3. You should feel your abdominals sink down before you move your legs. The sinking of your abdominals will help to lift your legs so that you're not as dependent on your hips and quads to lift your legs. Inhale, 2, 3. And drop down, 2, 3. And drop down, 2, 3. This is the final one, guys. Drop down, 2, 3, and now leaving your legs out to the ceiling. Bring your hands hands behind your head. Interlace your fingers, thumbs long down your neck. Pull your fingers apart and squeeze down underneath your arms so your shoulder blades are nice and wide and flat. Make sure your ribs aren't flaring. Inhale, exhale to curl up. And now, my right foot's going to reach away. And as it lifts, I'm going to rotate my body towards that side. And right leg, and lift and rotate. My left hip is not lifting. I'm just rotating my ribs across. Good. My underarms reaching towards my leg. I'm shooting energy out of my left leg though. So it's very much engaged. And now come back to center. And now my left leg's going to drop. And as it lifts, I'm going to rotate my underarm towards the left leg. And lower. And left. And 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. Leg meets leg. One more. Come back to center. Rest your head, neck, and shoulders. Hold on to your legs. Rock gently from side to side. From there, I'm going to hold on behind my knees, on my chin to my chest. Rock up slowly. If you're swinging yourself up, please try to use more abdominals. If you have osteoporosis or osteopenia, please find a different way to lift yourself back up to sitting. From there, I'm going to place my fingertips on my shoulders. Just like in the T, I'm going to slightly bring my elbows into my periphery and squeeze underneath my arms to engage. My legs are squeezed together but flexed. Leaving both sits bones on the mat. I'm going to inhale, exhale to the right, and inhale through center. Exhale to the left, through center. And side twist. I enjoy doing the embarrassing exhale with my mouth wide open. Think of wringing out your abdominals.
Think of lifting tall, 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 and lifting tall, tall, tall. And one more. And through center. Good. Let's go ahead and shake out our legs. Find our ring. We're gonna do some leg work in the quadruped position. Go ahead and pull the ring apart so your shoulder blades are nice and flat. This is not a comfortable position. We're not doing any work here. We're just going to find the position for our shoulders. So this is the position that our shoulder blades, nice wide and flat. We're wrapping our ribs. We're drawing our abdominals up and in. We're squeezing our legs and we're just pulling down on our shoulders, squeezing our underarms that we've been working on all class so that we can maintain a nice long neck. We have a straight line from the tip top out of our head through our tailbone. Our shoulder blades are flat and wide, so we're not rounding up like this. Or neither are we swaying out in our back. So we're drawing up and in on our abdominals in a nice flat back position. Go ahead and take your ring and put it to the side. Think of this as a beginner plank position, right? My knees are underneath my hips, my ankles. My wrists are underneath my shoulders. I'm pulling the mat apart. I'm going to take my right leg and bird dog it without swaying my hips. I'm going to press my foot back onto the ball of my foot. Think of this as a half plank, and I'm going to pull it back in. Try to maintain a squeeze on your glute, and don't lose your body here. We're going to do one more and press it back. Now point your foot. Now without losing your square hips, squeeze your glutes to lift your legs up and lower. And squeeze, lift, and lower. And squeezing in with my left leg as well. I'm pressing my shin into the mat. Good. I have that nice long. Now when I'm in this position, I have a straight line from the tip of my head out through my tailbone and a straight line from my toe to basically where my leg meets, in my femur. Let's do one more and stay up at the top. Now, without wagging your tail and moving your hips, you're gonna bring your leg out an inch and squeeze it across your body an inch. And away and across. Still pulling your shoulder blades apart, squeezing underneath your arms. This may be more work than you're used to doing in the quadruped position, and that's great. That's exactly what it should be, but this is exactly the way it should feel all the time. Now come back to center. 10 small circles the size of a softball in each direction. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Reverse energy out of your big toe. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Draw your foot back in. Sit back for just a second. Before we go any further, we're going to take our palms facing down. I'm going to pull my palm into my body. I'm going to flip my palm away from me. Pull my fingers up to my nose. From there, I'm going to flip my palm. Don't come into your shoulder. Pull my finger into my belly button with the palm facing away. Now I'm going to face my palm down. I'm going to pull my fingertips down towards my body. Flip my fingertips up to the ceiling. Pull them gently towards my nose. Flip my hand. Pull my fingertips back towards my belly button. We will not be doing these stretches again for our wrists in class, but if you do feel some wrist pain, please feel free to pause the video and do these stretches. Now coming back to the position with the ring, pulling it apart with our shoulder blades, nice long line from out of my head through my tailbone, drawing up and into my abdominals, wrapping my ribs, squeezing under my arms. I'm going to extend my left leg, tucking my toe in a one-legged plank. Well, one-sided plank, and pull it back in. Try not to shift your body, and extend, drawing up and in, even tighter on my abdominals and lower. And bring it back in and lower. And extend one more time. Point the toe. Now without shifting your hips, lift and lower. And lift. Square your hips. Keep breathing. It's even harder on the second leg. Good. Wrap your ribs, pull them out apart. Squeeze under your arms, nice long neck. Look down at your mat after you're done looking at the video. Press your shin that's on the mat into the mat.
Now stay up at the top, extend your leg away from me an inch, and pull it across an inch. And away, and across. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and squeeze that inner thigh. 9, and 10. Now come back to center. 10 small circles in each direction. 3, 4, 5. Shoot that energy out of your toes. Come back to the top, tuck your tail, wrap your ribs, shoot energy out. Drop your shin in the mat and reverse for a 10, 9, shoulder blades apart. Good. Now, bring your foot down. From here, we're going to drop down to our forearms so that our elbows are underneath our shoulders. We're going to be doing forearm planking today. What we're going to do first is a modified leg pull in plank. We're going to work our way up to it. So I'm going to extend one leg out to tabletop on the ball of my foot. I'm going to be in a Pilates V position here on my toes with my legs squeezed together. So heels together, toes apart. Extend your other leg up. Squeeze your glutes. Drop up and in on your abdominals. And now press back an inch, flexing your feet. Come back to center and press forward on your toes, coming over your shoulders an inch. We're sawing with our arms. Good. We're going to do 3 more. Abs up and in. Tuck your tail. 1 more. Now come to center. Now squeeze your right leg and float it up and lower. And left leg, lift and lower. Lift your right leg. If you find that you're unable to do this, you can hold the forearm plank. Pull the mat apart with your arms. And now we're going to add the saw. So we're going to lift our leg up. We're going to press back, flexing both feet. Press forward, pointing both feet. And lower our foot. Lift left foot up. Flex and press back. And point. And lower. Right leg. And point. And flex. And point. And lower. Flex. And point. And lower. 1 more. And point. And lower. And now from there, drop your knees. Press back into a child's pose for a moment. We're going to be doing some side planking as opposed to sideline legs today. Whew. Planking is definitely a hard exercise, guys, for sure. To get into our side planking, we're first going to come back to a quadruped position and drop our forearms down to the mat, just like we did earlier. Now don't sway out in your back like I just did. Tuck your tail and lift up to protect your low back. We're going to take our left hand and angle it so that our fingertips are pointing towards our right forearm. I'm going to, from there, press out into my plank and rock to the side. If you find this is not an optimal position for you, you are welcome to come to a knee and a hand to do these exercises. But you might find it a little bit more difficult to do the start exercises at the end. You can still do it from here, but you won't be able to do the lower lift into start. You'll just have to lift and lower your arm and leg for start. So, here I am. I'm on my forearms. I'm going to press out in plank. I'm going to rock to the side. I'm on my toes. You can come to the side of your foot for this exercise, so it will give you a little bit more stability. I'm going to lift my top leg and lower. You can grab your fingertips to the mat, but it does cause rocking forward, so I'd love to see your hand on your hip. 2 and 3. Now bring your leg up to hip height and forward and back. We just have 3 here too. Now squeeze up and under your arm and 3 small circles. 2, 3, and reverse for 1 and 2 and 3. Arm long down your leg, dip your hips down an inch and lift it up, back to plank. Lift your arm and your leg and lower. Dip your hip and lift. Woo! A slight modified side bend start lift. Ooh, I fell down there a little bit. And lower. Come back through center. Drop your knees. Press back into child's pose. Guys, it is hard to maintain your stability there. You can't just go to the other side. I'm going to switch sides so I can continue to face you. We're still in child's pose for a moment. From there, we're going to press back out into our quadruped position on our forearms. Now I'm going to take my right arm. I'm going to bring my fingertips to face my left forearm. I'm going to press back into a plank position. I'm going to rock onto my side into the plank. If this is enough for you, that's fine. If you need to drop to the knee and modify, please do so. I always want to lift my top leg and lower for 3. Squeezing under my arm. Lift up to hip height and forward and back and forward and back. One more. Come back to center. 3 small circles in each direction. And reverse for 3 and 2 and 1. Now drop your leg, drop your hips an inch and lift. Lift your arm and your leg and lower. Lower your hips and lift. Arm and leg and lower. Final 1. Arm and leg and lower. Now rock back to center. Drop your knees. We're going to press back into a shell position. So bring your hands underneath your shoulders in quadruped. Tap your tail. Arch up into an angry cat. Now without moving your hands, so we get that stretch under our arms that we're going to need here, pull it back. Don't sway out on your back. Really pull out. This is a very active stretch. It should feel hard. Strap your ears by your biceps. And now release back into a child's pose. Take your right arm and thread it underneath your left. Keep breathing. Come back to your center. And bring your left arm under your right. Trying to reach your left shoulder for the mat. Come back to your center. Now, tap your tail and begin to articulate out to sitting up tall. From there, we're going to do can, teaser, and then we're going to do a nice cool down exercise series. I say series, it's more like some wonderful, lovely stretches, guys. So from there, I'm going to scoot my glutes towards my heels again. I'm going to tuck my tail and roll back slightly. I'm going to slide my fingertips straight back to my elbows. So it's like a tricep push-up, right? But I'm not tricep push-upping, but my fingertips are basically right in line with my hip, back to my hips. I'm squeezing down and I'm going to float my legs up to tabletop. I'm squeezing in strongly my abdominals. Now, I can still reach my arms forward here. Is it difficult? Absolutely. But I'm not leaning back, scrunching my shoulders up to my eardrum. I'm balancing, and this is just here for support for while we do can. So I'm going to rock to my left hip, extend my legs, bend my legs, come back through center. At no point am I shifting the weight on my hands. I'm maintaining an even weight on my hand the whole time. This is simply rotation exercise. So squeeze under your arms and extend your legs. Come back through center. Stay there. Can you extend your arms forward? Now pull it back. Squeezing back. Now rotate to the left and lift. Bend your knees through center. To the right and lift. Bend your knees and center. One more time to each side. We're going on to teaser next. Lower your feet. Tricep press yourself up to sitting. So if you feel that you would do teaser best from bent knee or tabletop, please feel free to do so. Otherwise, I am going to cue teaser from a long leg, flat on the mat position, arms forward, articulate back. Reach your arms up over your head. Unless you're flaring in your ribs, then only reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale. As you pull up into teaser, lifting up, nice wide collar blades, nice wide shoulder blades. Tuck your tail. Roll back. When your sacrum hits, begin to lower your head, your feet, so everything rests at the same time. The wide collarbones, the wide shoulder blades are a lot like plank here. We're going to inhale We're going to peel our head, neck, and shoulders off. As our sacrum begins to lift, we're going to exhale and float our legs. And we're going to circle our arms, 3 circles in each direction. 2 and 3. And reverse for 1 and 2 and 3. Tuck our tail. We inhale. We roll back on our sacrum hits. We're going to exhale and roll back all the way. Guys, if at any time you feel your thighs or your quads start to sit up, squeeze your heels together and bend your legs into a frog so that you can regroup within your abdominals to have your abdominals lift your legs, not your thigh muscles. Inhale. Begin to lift up. Exhale to the left. Now lower your legs an inch and exhale to the left. Your upper body shouldn't move. One more. Tuck your tail. And articulate back on the inhale. And then exhale to lower everything to the mat. Let's go ahead and bend our legs into a frog, a wide diamond position. Inhale. Exhale to articulate up to sitting with our legs on the mat. From there, we're going to have the wide diamond position with our legs. A wide butterfly. It shouldn't be up here, guys. We want a nice wide position. We're going to sit up tall on our sit bones. Hold on somewhere on our shins, not on our knees, but below our patella or below our kneecap. Inhale. Exhale to round back. When we round back, we're not rounding our shoulders in. We're still keeping nice wide open collarbone, nice wide open shoulder blades, and just looking down while we draw our wrists to our hips. Inhale, exhale, pull up. Do a nice chest expansion. Come back to sitting in the cat, sitting cat-cow, and exhale to lift into a cow, wrapping our ribs, drawing our abdominals up and in. One more. Then we're going to come back to neutral. I'm going to bring my left hand to my right shin, not on my kneecap again, but somewhere on my shin. Bringing my left hand behind me, and I'm going to rotate to look to the back of the mat, gently. I'm going to come back through center, place my left hand on my right shin, and rotate to look at the back of the mat. This shouldn't be a forced twist, guys. It is just a gentle twist right here, just a gentle look-see behind you. You shouldn't feel any forced movement. You shouldn't be straining to look to the back. One more time to each side. Sitting up tall, 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 tall. Through center. Exhale to the other side. Now come back through center. 2 ways to do this forward fold. You can take your arms and thread them underneath your calves, or you can reach long over your legs. I'm going to thread my hands underneath my calves personally. I'm going to fold forward over my legs. I actually learned this move in a yoga class one time. I found that it actually stretches out my tibial a little better personally. Relax here. Shake out your neck. Nod yes. Nod no. I don't know, maybe. Whatever makes you feel good in your neck. Release all the tension. Now, release your arms up from under your legs if that's where they are. Reach over the tops of your legs. Now, articulate it. Feeling the support from the front of your body. With your hands gently resting on your shins. Let's go ahead and take one more nice inhale. And a nice exhale. Thank you for joining me for class today. I hope that you enjoyed the plank class. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me. Have a good day.